Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for messages for Thursday, December the 7th for each sign, then 5 minutes of Reiki, and 5 minutes after that of free-for-all questions. All right, so it is now 2:19 Mountain Time in the U.S. Let's get started on predictions for Thursday, December the 7th for Aries. What do I have coming up for you guys? Aries, I feel like you're in a situation on Thursday that things feel well-worn and comfortable. Like whatever it is that you're doing, you're in your groove. You understand exactly how everything works, and it's all just working like clockwork. I also have this sense of whatever this is, I don't feel like it's boredom or tediousness. It feels like it's something that you are enjoying, Aries. Ricky Jorgensen, hello. Anna Lopez, hello. Welcome. Glad to see you guys today. Let's do a card of the day for Ms. Ricky right now. Excuse me. Ms. Ricky Jorgensen, card of the day. Card of the day. Ooh, I like this one. You got the 10 of Cups, Ms. Ricky. 10 of Cups is just telling me that you are feeling very emotionally fulfilled today, satisfied, happy, possibly even joyful. Something is making you feel that way, either within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours. And then Anna Lopez, you were in the door next. Let's pull a card for you. Card of the day. This is something that happened within the past 24 hours or will happen within the next 24 hours, something that Sacred Spirit would like you to be more aware of than what you would have been if the card was not pulled. This also is something that is for your highest and best interest. So even if it doesn't seem like the most positive thing, it is in your highest and best interest to have your seatbelt on, your hard hat on. Gemma, hello. Glad to see you here. Must be the next 24 hour for you. Be looking forward to it. Anna M. Lopez, Anna. Ms. Anna, you got the 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups just tells me that you're going to be very tempted to throw a wonderful pity party, Ms. Anna. Pity parties are just something, aren't they? We feel so righteous while we're having them. We like all the attention it brings us. And yet somehow they seem to make us feel miserable anyway. How does that work? Anyway, if you can avoid that temptation, now you know that energy is showing up, and if it hasn't already happened, now you can avoid it. Gemma Croft Baker, you're up next. Awesome. Glad to hear it, Ricky. Gemma. Am I sure what's not a doggy party? What are we talking about? I'm feeling a little lost. Gemma's card coming right up. Gemma. Let me feel around about this card before I start talking to you, Ms. Gemma. So, Gemma, this is the Guardian card in this deck, which is, by the way, the Wildwood Tarot. The Guardian would be kind of like a devil card in another deck, although not exactly the same meaning. To me, when the Guardian card comes in upside down, what I'm feeling for you, Ms. Gemma, is there's something that you have some massive fears around. And I think that whatever's going on, you're having to face those fears. And actually, I think you're kind of putting those fears on hold. You're like, I'm not going to think about that right now. Right now, I'm just going to focus on getting through this situation. Does that sound about right, Ms. Gemma, within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours? I'm missing something. In his kitty party? I don't know. Oh, the pity party. It's a pity party. P-I-T-Y. Not a kitty party. Could be, Gemma says. All right, so have we got everyone a card here? I think we have. Let's move on to Taurus for Thursday, December the 7th. No wonder I was lost. All right, Taurus, Thursday, December the 7th. Excuse me. Taurus, I feel like you have an opportunity coming up Thursday, December the 7th, and it's interesting how this comes up. For some of you, this is work life. For some of you, this is love life. It comes up as kind of this awkward thing whenever this opportunity first shows up, and I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting how it comes up, and you'll have the opportunity to either take that opportunity and run with it, or if you're not careful, if you're not alert and paying attention, you could actually let this trip you up. So this could be something that the way that this opportunity is presented could kind of trigger you a little bit, is what I'm feeling like, Taurus. But if you can hold your horses and not be triggered, then I think that you're going to find this opportunity to be something that is worth at least looking into a little bit more. Of course, I think we're in Mercury retrograde now, so you may not want to make a decision just yet, but it might be a good thing to keep on the back burner for a while. Right? Pity parties are a bummer. December, Thursday the 7th for Gemini, 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 Gemini. Gemini, I feel like you're going to be really doing a lot of social interaction December the 7th. So interacting with lots and lots of people. Some of these are going to be work-related interactions, but I feel like there's also a little bit of a flavor of, I don't know if festivity is exactly the right word, a little bit of a flavor of sociality to this. So it's not all work and no play. There is work and there's play. And for some of you, there's going to be work and play combined in your interactions with the same people. But anyway, I do think you're going to have a lot of interactions with many, many different people on Thursday, Gemini, and about different things. Hello, 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 Striving. Glad to see you here. I have not. I have not. You're right. Striving, you're not late at all. Kathy Cephas, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here, my dear. All right, so for those of you who have not yet, please share so that other people can get in on these. These are always more fun when they are live, live, live. Striving, let's do a card of the day for you, my dear. After that, Kathy will be at bat. Striving first, though. Your card just flipped on me. Didn't flip on me. Flipped out as I was shuffling. Okay, Striving. You, my dear, have the Justice card. I think you're bringing something to an end that has not been serving you, either within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours. I do think you've given this a lot of deliberation, and you're about ready to let the sword down. Does that sound about right for you, Miss Striving? Sharing is caring. That's right. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that. Kathy, you're up next for a card. Need some justice desperately. This card basically is telling me you're the one who creates the justice. Kathy Cephas. Kathy Cephas. Right, right. Gotcha, striving. Kathy's card coming right up. Kathy's card coming right up. Feel like you've got something heavy on your mind today, Ms. Kathy. La da 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 da. Ms. Kathy, you have the Knight of Wands showing up in reverse. To me, this tells me that you were dealing with some kind of project or thing that you were working on in some way, maybe even a relationship, and all the fire's kind of gone out. Like you're just not feeling like putting that much energy or effort into it right now, Ms. Kathy. Does that sound about right for you? That'll be within the past 24 hours or within the next 24 hours. Yasmin Smith, hello, hello. You are in the right place for a question, but not the right time yet. After I do predictions for all the signs and we do 5 minutes of Reiki, then it's time for free-for-all questions. I'll be happy to answer a question for you then. But for right now, I can pull a card of the day for you if you like. Card of the day is something that is a very current situation. It has either happened within the past 24 hours or will happen within the next 24 hours. Something Sacred Spirit would like you to have a little bit more awareness of than if it had not come up. And it's something that's for your highest and best interest to hear about. That's true. That's true. It's amazing how Spirit always knows what's up, isn't it? Yasmin Smith, card of the day for you. Well, that definitely sounds like that card. I think you're going to go a little bit beyond that once you actually hear the truth. But hey, let's see what happens. Yasmin's card. Yasmin. Here's the deal, honey. You got the Hanged Man, but the Hanged Man is in reverse. I always take this as a good card to me. He looks like he's dancing an Irish jig when he comes up in reverse. He also looks like he must be doing a dang good job dancing because people are throwing roses at him. So I think you're celebrating. There's something that had you feeling stuck and had you feeling held back. You have done enough research or meditation or thought or whatever to release yourself from that, Ms. Yasmin. And now you are celebrating that you are free. You have found the solution or the answer. Does that sound about right for you yet, my dear? Linda Ann Mendez, hello, hello. Did I do Aries? Yes, I did. Aries, as always, very first. You can scroll back and listen to that if you want. But I'm going to do a card of the day for you right now, if that's okay. Another year wrap up for you. Yeah, nobody's ever too excited about that, are they? Allie Johnson, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room again. I know, spell check always does my name wrong. It's really frustrating when I'm trying to say my own name on my own phone and I look like an idiot because I signed my name, Amistad. Linda Ann Mendez, card of the day. It's almost as frustrating as when spell check says duck. All right, Linda Ann Mendez, here we go. Card of the day for you. Ooh, la la. Nice card. Is this Miss Linda Ann or somebody else? Linda Ann, you are the green woman. You're the ultimate nurturer, the ultimate encourager, uplifter, supporter. Let's just put it this way. If somebody's thinking about marrying you, they would be a fool not to. This is also my mama of all mamas card. You could be being a mama, or you could be being a grandmama right now. Uplifter, supporter, encourager really just talks about your personality, that you do have a lot of integrity. Ms. Linda Ann Mendez. Yasmin Smith. Starting her own business. Woohoo! Well, whether it's a good idea or not just kind of depends on how long you've been thinking about it. If you've been thinking about it a long time, then you're not starting anything new. But if it's really a new thing, then it's not such a good idea during Mercury retrograde. Paula Keener, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room. You're quite welcome, Yasmin. You're quite welcome, Linda Ann. Paula Keener, let me get you a card of the day, my dear. I don't think I've seen you in the room before. So a card of the day is just a card that talks about something that has happened either within the past 24 hours or will happen within the next 24 hours. So it's a very current situation, and it's something Sacred Spirit would like you to be more aware of than if I didn't see the situation in the card. And whatever comes through is for your highest and best benefit. Paula Keener. Dide Gayan. Hello, hello. Glad to see you in the room, my dear. Paula Keener's card coming up. Yeah, well, then it's an old thing. That's a good time to bring it up while it's Mercury retrograde. Paula Keener. Paula Keener. Okay, Paula Keener. What you got, my dear, is the sun. This just tells me that sometime within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours, you will be doing things exactly the way you want to, with nobody micromanaging you. The reason this came in reverse is that whatever this is you're doing this with somebody else. So you're sharing that experience of doing what you want, how you want. You may be making little compromises so that both of you can be happy, or however many of you are together will be happy, but there's nobody micromanaging saying, oh, I didn't want it that way, and didn't you know the deadline was yesterday, and all of that other happy-est stuff. Let me watch my mouth here. Dee. Let me do a card of the day for you. La-da-dee-da. La-da-dee-da. Dee. I am fantastic, Ms. Dee. How are you? Dee. Okay, Dee, you got the Page of Swords. Page of Swords just tells me that you're doing some kind of research, some kind of digging for information. This could be anything from working on a project for school or for university, all the way up to looking in your phone records or at your partner's phone to see what's going on. But some way you're digging for information, Ms. Dee, either within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours. I'm glad to hear that you are good, dear. Ali. I've just done the first three so far. Next up will be Cancer. So we've done Aries. We've done Aries, Taurus, Aries, and Gemini. Ali, I don't think I got you a card. I thought I was missing somebody. Let's do a card for Ali. Ali. My sun sign is Scorpio and my moon sign is Pisces. You're confused in your career path. Digging for information. Dee, that's the type of thing that people come to me for readings all the time. If you want to schedule a reading with me, I'd be happy to do one for you to help you out and getting some clarity around that. I didn't mean to miss you. Okay, Ali, here's your card. Ali. You've got the Fool card in reverse, my dear. This is just telling me that you're doing something either today or yesterday. Well, within the last 24 hours or the next 24 hours. Let me stick to how I say that. That was very well thought out and planned out. It definitely was not spur of the moment. I know, I am double water. No wonder I can do this. And my Venus is in Scorpio. Hi, Sandra. Glad to have you here, honey. Let me pull you a card of the day. For those of you who don't know yet, card of the day is something that will have happened within the past 24 hours, and if not, then you'll see it in the next 24 hours. It is something Sacred Spirit would like you to have more awareness of than if I hadn't pulled it, and it's always for your highest and best benefit to hear about it. Sandra Hale, card of the day. Quite welcome, Dee. You didn't get very far. I think you're going to get further. Sandra Hale. Lots of Scorpios isn't there? So Scorpios were 11. That means in February our parents were getting busy. They were taking advantage of those last cold days, weren't they? All right. Sandra Hale, what you have coming up here is the ancestor. Sandra, you have a big decision in front of you, and it has to do with if you want to continue on the path you've been going down or not. When this card comes up, this is Sacred Spirit's way of asking you to please consider the consequences if you keep moving forward with whatever this is that you're moving forward with, because if you keep moving forward, you are about to pass a point of no return. So you should count the cost before you do that. A lot of people who are psychic or intuitive get this card like right before they get ready to go pro or before they get ready to tell their family, stuff like that. This could apply to a lot of different things. This could be like deciding to get married, but definitely this is a heavy-duty decision, and the Sacred Spirit's asking you to count the cost before you make that decision. Oh, trust me, I won't have to remind you. Oh, very cool, Paula. Enjoy your time with your daughter. Okay, so Cancers, let's look at you guys for December the 7th, Thursday. Cancers, I'm hearing that there's a lot of communication going back and forth between you and somebody else. It seems like you guys are trying to get something planned or worked out. It can be about you and this other person getting together or doing something together, but it also can be about organizing something that is bigger than the two of you. But definitely some planning and organization going along, and there's lots of communication. And I feel like there's a lot of text, a lot of text going back and forth here. There will be some phone calls too, but the texts seem like almost overwhelming as I'm feeling around that for you Cancers. You're having cataract surgery tomorrow? And Spirit says count the cost. Oh, that would kind of scare me a little bit. Maybe they're talking about count the cost. You're going to have this big old thing over your eye for a while. There's Miss Avni. I am fantastic, my dear. How are you? Let's do a card of the day for Miss Avneet. Avneet and I have been reading together. Oh my goodness. I don't know how long we've been reading together, Avneet. Over a year. Jenny Tuccarella. Hello, hello. Welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you? Avneet, can I tell people about our first encounter when I read for you the first time? Lily Lee, hello, hello. Glad to see you in the room. 3 years in January. Wow, 3 years, really? That's a long time. So poor Miss Avneet, when she came to me for her first reading, she was in love, heavy duty in love. And she kept asking me about this guy. And it was not, the cards were just not cooperating with her in lovedness. So what ended up happening was she wanted to know if they would end up ever getting back together and if this guy would come back and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, by the time he comes back, you're going to have moved on and be over him. She was so pissed at me. I don't think she got another reading for another year. But then whenever the things that I had said happened, then she came back about a year later. But I certainly was not telling her what she wanted to hear. All right, so Avneet's card of the day. All right, my dear, we have the world showing up in reverse. The world showing up in reverse is telling me that you do have some goals, some targets, some dreams that you are shooting for. They are long-term, and they are not going to happen today, but this is a very encouraging card saying just keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's how these things happen. So it is saying that whatever this is coming in. Just don't give up hope. Okay, so that's Avneet's card. Let's see who's next. Jenny needs a card. Jenny Zuccarella. After that will be Lily Lee. So far, Jenny, I'm only up to, I've gotten through Cancer and that's it. So I've still got 8 to go. Ms. Jenny. Okay, my dear, your card of the day is, let me change this thing, see the camera better, is the Two of Pentacles. This just means you probably have a lot on your plate or your itinerary, a lot to get accomplished or a lot of places to be. And as you're doing that, people are thinking about how graceful you're making that look. You might feel like it's frantic and hectic. They think you're making it look easy, Jenny. So that will have happened within the past 24 hours or within the next 24 hours if it hasn't already. All right, so that's Jenny. Who's next? Lily Lee. Lily Lee, let's get you a card, my dear. That's pretty much his favorite spot, Ricky. Every once in a while, he'll shut the door for me when he decides I should be working. But pretty much he stays in the corner. He likes to watch. He's curious. Lily Lee. For those of you who are not clairvoyant, Ricky's asking about my grandfather's ghost, who pretty much is almost always in the corner every time I work. Well, you are quite welcome, Jenny. Let's see, who's next? Who's next? I'm doing Lily Lee. That's who I'm doing right now. Lily Lee's card of the day. Lily Lee. Oh, you got a good card, honey. You got the Archer. This just tells me that you're having victory on something where you've been very focused and you even asked Spirit for help. Ms. Lily. That's a fantastic card. Alrighty, so let's do Leos for December the 7th, which is Thursday. What do I have coming up for you, Leos? Leos, I'm hearing 2 words for you guys. One is intendance, which is sort of like intention, and the other is interdependence. So I think that there's something going on for you Thursday where you are collaborating with some other people to set some intentions and to get them some things going if they're not already going, and if they are already going, to meet some goals. But anyway, you are setting intentions in collaboration with other people. Whether they would call that setting intentions or not, I think is kind of up in the air. For some of you Leos, they will. For some of you, they won't. This could just be work colleagues that are setting, quarterly goals or whatever. But basically setting intentions with a group. Okay. You're quite welcome, Lily Lee. Alrighty, let's look at Virgo, Thursday, December the 7th. What do I have coming up for you guys? Virgos, what I'm hearing for you all is peacefulness and heartache, which isn't that an interesting combination. I think that you guys are retreating actually a little bit from a situation that is not making you feel so good, and sort of almost kind of like licking your wounds is sort of the sense that I'm getting here. Like you're processing about what happened and you're putting together a plan of how to handle that the next time it comes up so that you can handle it in a better way, Virgos. You're not about to let somebody keep on messing with you, basically. GSJ Mac, hello, hello. How are you? I don't think I've seen you in the room before. We're glad you're here. Lan L, hello, hello. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Let's see. For those of you who are interested in booking a private reading, feel free to contact me. You can find all my contact information on my website, amista.info, www.amista.info. I also do offer Reiki services. You can find out how to get those there as well. All you have to do is contact me and we can get that scheduled. You've been here a couple of times? Okay, you gotta watch me. I should be taking my fish oil. Kathy Cephas, call me, text me, email me, something. We'll get it scheduled. Okay, GSJ Mac, card of the day. This is something that will have happened within the past 24 hours or will happen within the next 24 hours. King of Swords, my dear. GSJ Mac, is this you or somebody else? I'm hearing that this is you. So GSJ Mac, either you are male or you are a very assertive female. I have seen court cards come up both ways, but usually if somebody's depicted as a male, they're going to be a real assertive or almost even aggressive type personality sometimes. So even if you're female, this can be a very assertive, you're not taking baloney off of anybody type of person. So anyway, I feel like this is really talking about your personality, heavy duty, that you're very logical. You like to think things through. Things have to make sense before you go through with them, even in love situations. And, you know, you don't put up with a lot of baloney. You sort of cut the baloney out. If it doesn't make sense to you and it seems like a lot of chaos and it's causing trouble or drama, don't need it. Out of here. So that seems to me like it's talking about you in general, GSJ Mac. Awesome, Kathy. I'll be looking forward to it. How long have I been doing readings? I started doing readings in 2012 and I went full time with my readings in 2013. And then this last year or so, I added Reiki to that. You are male. Okay. Cool, cool. Awesome. Thank you for the verification, honey. Let's see. Who else needs a card? Seems like somebody else came in. Lan L. I think you need a card, my dear. Lan L. Let's take a peek. Take a peek. Lan L needs a card of the day. Card of the day will have happened within the past 24 hours. If not, then look for it within the next 24 hours. It is something Sacred Spirit would like you to be more aware of, and it's something that is always in your highest and best interest. Okay, Lan L, what you have coming up here, my dear, is the Wanderer. This is just telling me that either within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours, you have done something strictly by a leap of faith. You're doing something that you knew that you knew that you knew, or you will know that you know that you know that you need to do. You may not know exactly how you knew or how you know, but you just know. And so you're doing it that way. And you're just having faith that if you're following that intuition, that Spirit will have your back. That's what I see coming up for you, Lan L. All right, so Libra, let's look at you guys for December the 7th, Thursday. What do I have coming up for you guys? I feel like emotions are going to be running high, Libra. It may be very tempting for you to be feeling a little bit insecure on Thursday. And so it's going to be really important to stay grounded. Stay grounded. Another thing that's really important to remember, Libras, is when you're feeling insecure, that's not the time to be making decisions or talking to people you're feeling insecure about. That's the time to be getting grounded and being quiet. We don't make good decisions when we're insecure. Have you guys ever noticed that before? You're quite welcome, Dee Dee. La da da da. You're quite welcome, Lan. All right, let's do Scorpio for Thursday, December the 7th. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. I'm seeing a spiral staircase for us, Scorpio. Oh, I know what this is about. Seeing a spiral staircase for us, Scorpios, and I'm seeing us like going up, 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 up these stairs. They're circular because this can very easily feel like we are in the same pattern, cycling over and over and over and over, kind of like a merry-go-round. But because this is a circular staircase, it is that we're going through very similar cycles, but excuse me, there's a little bit of progress being made each time around the circle. So whether this is in relationship, whether this is a work situation, whatever that is, it's going to fall in different places for different ones of us. I know right where it falls for me. This means that there is progress being made, but I think that it's going to be a little bit hard for us to see the progress because we feel like we're covering the same territory over and over and over and over again. Advice here is detach a little bit, step back from the situation, look at it from a more logical perspective instead of getting wrapped up of the feeling of, oh my gosh, are we still doing this? Okay, so that's what I've got for Scorpio. No drama. Glad to see you in the room, honey. Working on that root chakra is so important. All the chakras are important. Oh, yeah. I'm human just like the rest of y'all, Kathy. Okay. I'm finding most of these messages actually apply to me too, the Scorpio ones especially. But usually they come in for me like 4 or 5 days after when I predicted them for me. Let's see. No drama. Let's get you a card, my dear. Card of the day. I am human just like y'all. You guys think that just because we're psychic, we're supposed to have the perfect relationships because we can see the baloney coming a mile away, don't you? Ha ha. Nope, because we're very empathic. We always feel sorry for the other person and we try to fix them. And we all know how fixing someone goes, don't we? Actually, psychics are reputed to have multiple relationships that don't go well. If you ever look at the history of psychics and their relationships. I just hope to God I'm not like Sylvia Brown, having been married 6 times by the time I go to my grave. I don't want to have that on my record. Let's see. 4 of Wands coming in for no drama. 4 of Wands can talk about a celebration. It's definitely about somebody coming home. This can be bringing a new baby home. This can have relatives coming in to visit, or you going home. You going home. I don't know why I repeated that. It just needed to come out twice. But anyway, usually this is a happy thing. This is a celebration. This can be somebody coming back from a military tour or from college. Somebody coming home for the holidays even. So that's what we have coming up for you, no drama. Yeah, really. We are notorious for not having our stuff together in that area. Sagittarius, December the 7th, Thursday. What do we have coming in for you guys? My Snowflake Obsidian wants to talk to Sagittarius. Let's see what Snowflake has to say. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, basically what I'm hearing here is it's going to be really easy for you to be feeling pretty overconfident about something. For some of you, this has to do with family and an older relative. And I would say for a lot of you, this has to do with family and an older relative. And then for others of you, this has to do with an authority figure at work. But it's going to be really easy to feel overconfident in your dealings with that person and your communications with that person. And I think that it's a good idea to step back and do a reality check. Maybe talk to that person about how they're feeling about you and your performance or whatever is important to them in you guys' lives, so that you don't overestimate, how do I want to word this? You don't overestimate your importance to this person, or you don't overestimate how much you're actually needed by this person. I kind of have the sense, Sagittarius, that where in the past you were an integral part of this person's life or their work or something along those lines, whatever that would be applicable, there are new avenues open to them to getting things accomplished that you've always accomplished for them. So you want to be careful. You're kind of going down a slippery slope if you assume that you're the only person that's ever been there for them, or if you're the only person that can do certain things for them, because they have found out recently that you're not. And it's possible that they might prefer actually another situation or another person, but they haven't actually changed anything because they don't want to hurt your feelings and because they do value you as a person. So if you start overstepping your boundaries, they may get a little insulted or offended by that. And you might get a reality check really quick. So be careful not to be like overshooting your confidence in your dealings with a boss or with an elderly family member. Have a family over for Christmas. Very cool. Okay, so that was Sagittarius. For those of you who have not shared yet, please share while this is still live. It's always more fun to get on the lives than it is to catch them afterwards. And we've only got 3 more signs before we hit Reiki. You guys know I like to have as many people here for Reiki as possible because then I can answer questions as they come up. And then someone's here for Reiki. How does Snowflake work? Well, Snowflake just hollers at me whenever it wants to talk to somebody. That's what all my rocks do. And then I just look at Snowflake and feel around Snowflake until Snowflake gives me some kind of sensation. We kind of work together. Let's see. Capricorn. Poor Dee Dee's going, this woman's crazy. Snowflake hollers at you? Can't help it. That's what happens. There's not really another way to say that. Okay, so Capricorn, December the 7th, Thursday. What do we have coming up for you guys? Capricorn, was it you I saw the stair step machine for a couple of days ago? I'm seeing like the stair step machine. Are you guys coming upstairs and downstairs a lot? Some of you, this is strictly going to be exercising at the gym. For others of you, I feel like this is running upstairs or downstairs at home or at a church hall or at work, someplace. There's going to be a lot of stairs in your life on Thursday, Capricorn. And, usually I see this as like a very literal message, and then I'll also see a symbolic message coming through with this. I'm not so much catching the symbolic message for you guys here, Capricorn. This seems very literal, like you're going to be dealing with a lot of going up and down stairs. It may be the same stairs over and over, but there's a lot of stairs going on. Your legs will be getting a good workout. There is Lorraine. Hello, my dear. Let me get you a card of the day, honey. Lorraine works her butt off. And I finally asked her the last time I saw her, do you live in the Alaskan outback or what? And she does. Like, no wonder. Gemma's coming to you to paint your bedroom? That's cool, Dee Dee. Oh, you were only kidding? You do enough work to live in the Alaskan outback. Chopping wood and stuff. It was like, dear Lord. West Massachusetts. That freaked me out because I seriously was just teasing you. And then when I thought you said yes about that, I was like, oh my gosh. Alrighty, so Lorraine Southwick. Ooh, what are you thinking about doing, Lorraine? What is it that you're wondering if that's the right time to do? Because you have the Wheel of Fortune here. This is an answer to a question for sure. This is saying this is not the best time. Don't push it is what I'm hearing. Don't push it. So there's some kind of project or somebody that you've gotten to agree to something or to go so far along. It's time to let it rest, let it get used to being in that space before you try to push it to the next level. It's not the time yet, my dear. All right, let's look at Aquarius, December the 7th, Thursday. Aquarius, you're going to be severely tempted to sulk. There's going to be something happens that you are just not going to be happy about at all, and you're going to feel like picking up your marbles and going home and getting out of the situation. I also am feeling like, as I sense around this, that whatever it is that happens that makes you feel that way, it's not coming across for most of you as being big enough to really justify that. It's coming across as a total miscommunication, which, of course, we're in Mercury retrograde. I think that this is a total miscommunication, that it's not intended at all the way it comes across. I'm not saying that anybody else wouldn't have thought the same thing. I think anybody would have thought the same thing about how this came across, but it was not intended that way. And so, Aquarius, I feel like the best thing that you can do is offer some grace and kind of let it slide off your back and see what happens as you move forward. Because I think that things are actually going to work out pretty well as long as you don't pick up your marbles and go home. Okay? I hope that's not too confusing for anybody out there the way I said it. All right, let's look at Pisces. Thursday, December the 7th for Pisces. Pisces, you may be the one sticking your foot in the mouth with Aquarius, because I do hear about sticking your foot in your mouth. Yippee. Doesn't have to be with Aquarius, though. I do feel like you're sticking your foot in your mouth, and I think you're realizing as soon as the words cross your lips, you're like, oh, that didn't sound the way I meant it. I do think you're going to be able to fix it pretty quickly. It's just kind of an embarrassing moment. But I do think you're going to be able to fix it pretty quickly. What else can I find about Pisces for Thursday? See you guys marking something on a wall, like you're measuring something. This kind of reminds me of whenever you're a kid growing up. I don't know how many of you went through this, but the parents would mark on the wall, 2 years old, and then the name of the kid, whatever. This is what this kind of reminds me of. There's making marks on the wall. You're marking your progress. So for some of you, maybe you're literally doing that with a child or a grandchild or a niece or nephew. For others of you, this is more about marking your own progress. And this can be that you're marking your progress in your spiritual practice or your spiritual awareness. Pisces, it doesn't have to be about marking how tall you are, but marking your progress in one way or another is what's coming up for you, Pisces. La da da da. Right, GSJ Mac? The thing about letting things slide is if we don't react, even if, okay, so say that we have a worst case scenario where they really meant what they said. If we don't react, we find out more information because they think then they're safe around us to do whatever they're doing. That's a Scorpio secret because we're the detectives of the universe. Just be quiet, let it slide, see how much rope they're going to take to hang themselves. All right, that was all the signs. Let's go ahead and do Reiki. I'm going to do 5 minutes of Reiki today. I am setting the intention for whatever will benefit you the most. If you have a specific thing that you would like the Reiki to focus on, feel free to modify that intention for yourself. Also, for those of you who are watching this after the live version is over, feel free to receive the Reiki. All you have to do is set that intention and you'll get just as much benefit from it as those of you who were here, because Reiki is spirit-based and spirit is not limited by time or by space. So let me get that going. All righty. Okay, so a lot of times whenever people are receiving Reiki, you guys may feel it in different parts of your body. For those of you who don't feel anything, don't worry about it. It's all good. Doesn't mean that the Reiki is not working, just means that you don't feel it. That's fine. If you are feeling it in different parts of your body and you would like some clues about what that might mean is shifting, then go ahead and pop that up into the window. Also, you may feel a shift in your emotions as we're doing Reiki. Sometimes that happens as well. Just know that that's part of the healing with Reiki. And if you guys have questions about Reiki, obviously, this is a good time to ask those. And then after Reiki time, then we'll do free-for-all questions, whatever you guys want to talk about. If you guys don't start typing something, I'm seriously going to fall asleep sending y'all Reiki. This is having me really relaxed right now. Middle of your back to the left of your spine. Do you have any medical reason for that to be going on that you're aware of? Oh, so up a little bit higher than what I was thinking. Sometimes we can have stuff going on that we don't know about yet or hasn't been diagnosed yet or whatever. And the Reiki can take care of that. I know that for me, every time when I first started doing Reiki for myself every day, I could pretty much tell every day what was being worked on because I always did it for my highest and best benefit. And usually it would show up as having something to do with relationships. And then I went through a phase where I really wasn't sure what it was working on. And 2 weeks after that, I got in a letter from the place where I normally get my MRIs saying I had a normal MRI, which was the first time I had had a normal, not MRI, mammogram. And it was the first time I'd had a normal mammogram in 4 years. So then I was like, oh. They never could say if there was something wrong with me or not. All they could say is, well, we're not sure. We'll keep watching. So I'm not sure if that helped with something that was like a medical big deal or if that just helped with medical little deal stuff. But I would imagine whatever's going on, Jenny, that something's being helped. The beautiful thing about setting Reiki to benefit whatever will benefit you the most is that you don't have to know about things. You don't have to be diagnosed with anything for the Reiki to go in and take care of it. And then it just never becomes an issue. You have a cold lower back. That's probably going to be around the sacral chakra, which is telling me, Ricky, that probably you've had some situations where you had to deal with things that you wished you could have had better things to deal with, maybe better food or a better place to live or whatever. And so there might have been some resentment around having to put up with that kind of stuff that's being let go right now. There's Natalia. We're just finishing up Reiki right now. Okay, guys, that was Reiki. Natalia, let me get a card of the day for you, and then I'm going to be here until 20 after answering any kind of questions you guys have. This is free-for-all question time. I hear you, Jenny. That's what I figured when I first started learning Reiki. I need all the help I can get. That's what happens when you observe people for a long time. You're quite welcome, GSJ. Hope it makes an impact for you. Natalia. Okay, honey. You've got the Five of Pentacles in reverse, Natalia. This just tells me that you're going through a situation where you're letting go of some old anger, grudges, hurts, doing some forgiveness, just letting something that you've been holding on to from the past go because you're kind of tired of carrying around those negative emotions. Has nothing to do with whether the other person has even asked you to let this go. It has everything to do with you don't want to carry that load anymore, honey. You're quite welcome, Dee Dee. Okay, guys, question time. Excuse me while I get more comfortable in my chair. Free for all questions. You're quite welcome, Natalia. You can, but you would have to remind me what the card of the day was. Someone wants to make a project on your property. Will this be a good go for you? I don't think so. I'm not feeling very good about it, Anna. I think this person is a big dreamer and not much of a doer. Honey, you got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Lorraine, which means something that you were thinking about doing. It's not a good time to do it. You got the Ten of Cups? Okay. Let's see what we can find for clarification for Ricky's Ten of Cups. Tell me about her emotional fulfillment. Yeah, because I think I only had one wheel in here today, and it was upside down. So I think that's right. Your Ten of Cups probably has to do with an air sign male, but definitely somebody who puts logic before emotions. I think this may be a little bit of a younger person because he comes up as a prince. So this may have to do with like one of your kids or something like that to me. A kid that acts older than his years, let's put it that way. And I think what's happening is he's taking some kind of rash action. He's doing something that really is not the smartest decision, but for a kid, you know, they don't always make the smart decisions. And it's kind of stressing you out. But I think that fulfillment is that you manage to get that situation turned around into something that is better than what it could be if you were not able to intervene. That's where that satisfaction is coming in. All's well that ends well, right? You're quite welcome, Ricky. You're welcome, Kathy. Looking forward to hearing from you. Don't you think I'm going to forget that now? One more minute. Any more questions? You guys, y'all are supposed to be keeping me on my toes. I don't know, but I have a feeling you'll know by tomorrow. Or at least by this time tomorrow. If it didn't happen already. Remember, these cards could have happened within the past 24 hours, too. They're not always future. I am not even going to take credit for being God. Let me step out of the way on that one. Too much responsibility for me. I know how to cut cords. Yep. Yep. What do you want to know? What would you like to know about cord cutting? I'll tell you a little bit of trivia about cord cutting while we wait to see what Kathy's going to ask. When you're doing cord cutting for somebody else, you always want to make sure that you don't cut a cord between a mama and her babies if they're 12 or younger. I know what you meant. I was just making a joke out of it, Ricky. Oh, he was behaving badly at the Christmas singing. Was it the autistic one? Autistic children are very, very, very sensitive to energy. So when they're around a lot of people, it might be hard for them to act in ways that are necessarily socially acceptable. Oh, this is a different one? Hmm. Well, kids are going to be kids. 10 years. That's cool because that prince, I was really getting a child. All 3 of yours are boys. Oh, Kathy, what do you want to know about cord cutting, honey? And the girl. Huh. You have your hands full, my dear. Okay, well, I'm not hearing another question from Kathy, so I'm going to take off. It's 23 after. Thank you all for hanging out with me, for keeping me company, keeping me on my toes. And I will see you guys next time, probably tomorrow. Peace out.